All right, last thing we need to talk about in this section, here's our last example. So we have this formula right here. It's A equals P plus PRT, and that's basically the amount of money you'll have after a certain time. Not only, this is basically your interest, but then also added by your principal is how much actual money you have. So right now this is solved for A, and what we're going to try to do is solve it for P. Now this can be difficult for a lot of people. We've got two P's. There's a couple ways to think about it, and I'll show you different ways. To do that, I'm going to tap into a little background knowledge. So we'll say 2x plus 3x. Your answer, as you well know, is 5x. But the way we get that is really 2 plus 3 in terms of our x. So if you have a nice little common term, all you have to do when you're adding like terms is to add their coefficients together. Well, using that knowledge right there, whoops, let me make my eraser larger, we can come up with the answer to this one. So our common term is p. P's coefficient in this problem right here, this one's 1, and we could actually say that this is the coefficient. So just like in that last example, we'll say a is equal to, we'll say our common term is p, so we can add our coefficients, together. So 1 plus coefficient, or what's being multiplied, that will be RT. And then all you have to do to solve for p at this point is to divide by that stuff. And we will get p to be equal to a over 1 plus RT. Okay, that's one way to think about it. However, the more common way for you guys to think about it is if you go back to your original problem and we look at it and say, all right, we've got this right here. The most common way to do it is to tap into something we've already done, which is factoring. So what you would go is you would say, hey, I've got multiple variables. Okay, I want to have just one. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and factor out the common factor. When I do that, the common factor is p. When you factor something out, it's the operation of division. So p divided by p is 1. PRT divided by p is just RT. And then, of course, we would do the exact same steps. And as you can see, it would give us the exact same problem. So not a right or a wrong way to think about it, but you can see they're kind of two different ways to come up with the same answer. Anyway, that's that equation solved for P.